Hi, good afternoon, and welcome back to Insurance 101. This segment I want to call, basically, I'm going to be talking about homeowners insurance, and please forgive me for laughing. I had just finished doing a text conversation between me and one of my girlfriends. So, Andrea, I hope that you don't mind if I mention your name, but you have me dying laughing hysterical over here. And it actually, some of the things that we're talking about just got me to thinking about homeowners insurance. So basically, what we were talking about different relationships and basically how, men don't really want to settle down until they're in the geriatric unit, and then even sometimes then they don't because they think that that candy striper is going to get with them. So I said, I mentioned and I said, what they need to do, or what I always say, is if you're looking for the Queen of Thotland, she's usually hanging out with the Princess of Thotlandia. So you might want to go over there and find them. But then it also got me to thinking about homeowners insurance. Now, why? I guess I don't know, but I guess I'm trying to always put things into terms that I can understand them, okay? So this segment, I want to say, is I call, in the insurance industry, when we abbreviate homeowners, we abbreviate it as HO, okay? So we have three different types of forms for a homeowner's policy, and it's basic, broad, or special. So the name of this segment is going to be, is your hoe a basic, broad, or is she special? Okay? So please forgive me for laughing, but this is just where I came up with this idea. So thanks, Andrea, even though I know this wasn't 100% your idea, just the topic that we had going on. So basically, your basic homeowner's policy is your least comprehensive homeowner's policy that there is. It's only going to cover name perils. So I will actually read off some of the perils that it would cover: fire, lightning, windstorm, explosion, smoke, riot, vandalism, vehicles or aircraft, volcano or sinkholes, okay? So that's going to be your basic chick, okay, or your basic homeowners. Well, where you don't do too much of anything. She's going to look at you and she's going to ask you for the world, and she asks you to pay for the world, but then when it's time for you to get whatever in return, she's going to look at you and say, is it on the list? Okay? So that's going to be your basic, okay? So then you get maybe another broad who is more comprehensive than just your basic chick, okay? And excuse me for laughing, but this is the way that sometimes I view men as well, unfortunately. But that's just because you do it to yourselves. But anywho, that's a different story. So your basic form is going to be more extensive, and it actually will cover more perils. And please forgive me if you see my messages popping up as I'm actually recording this. My girlfriend, she's actually laughing at me as I'm doing this. So your broad form basically is going to cover more. It's going to cover the weight of snow and ice, your water damage, your falling objects, glass breakage, building collapse, and then all the other stuff that the basic broad would have covered, which really ain't nothing. So meaning, in order for me to have something covered with that basic broad, then something basically vandalism, mischief, or something has to happen, which if any of that happens, I need to tell you, you might want to check the broads that you're hanging out with, okay? So then your special form, which is your HO3 policy, which is something that I write extensively. I usually do not write an HO2, a deep, I usually do not write a basic or broad form. I have written them, let's say, in the event that maybe I have a homeowner who has 3 or 4 homes, and this might be his 3rd or 4th home, and he doesn't really care too much about it. If ice damming occurs at that particular point in time, then he's self-sufficient. He can actually really technically self-insure, but he just wanted to have some coverage. So those are the people that I will write your basic and your broad forms for. But other than that, most of us, we need to have that special coverage form where it actually includes coverage for direct loss from all types of perils unless it's excluded. So if it is not excluded, then that means it is automatically included. So some exclusions would be ordinance of law, earth movement, government action, nuclear hazard. But like I said, if nuclear hazard happens, chances are we ain't gonna be here anyway, so you ain't gonna get paid on anything anyway. Utility services. Now I have to also say that some insurance companies now offer something called a sewer line coverage, because you know how we were having a lot of water main breaks when it came down to in Manhattan and so on and so forth, because these water mains are so old that what ends up happening, depending on where that water main be, even though it might be leaking in the middle of the street, they trace it back and it comes to your property yard, and then you are actually responsible for that. So that those are some things that would not be covered. Also, steam boilers, I want to say rupture or bursting of pipes, but of course, like I said before, in other segments of my homeowners policies or homeowners coverages that I have gone over, everything, so if that pipe bursts in your basement, everything would basically be covered but the pipe. So things that are not covered would be birds, vermin, smog, seepage, plumbing, heating, air conditioning. However, there's something on a homeowner's policy now that we call mechanical breakdown insurance, and that would actually cover for your sump pumps and things of that nature. So these are the things that you want to make sure that you have on your policy. So when writing any type of insurance policy, do not walk into an insurance office and be like, you know what, I think I want your basic home insurance. Do not do that. I will kick you out of my office for the simple fact that I know that you don't need coverage for anything, and you might as well just self-insure yourself. Unless, of course, you're one of those wealthy people who have several pieces of property. But again, thanks so much, Andrea, for giving me, I guess you really didn't give me this idea, but our conversation actually just made me think of this. So I had to record this real quick. And yes, no, again, I'm still not wearing any makeup from this morning. But I was able to curl my hair, you know, so the kids wouldn't be like, oh my God, what are you doing? But I want to say thank you once again for watching Insurance 101 by Trusted Capital. And again, make sure that when you decide that you're going to pick that hoe, that you pick the broad hoe, okay? So thanks so much for watching, and if you like this information, make sure that you go ahead and subscribe to my channel. Don't forget to hit that bell so you'll get notifications. And then if you have any questions about anything, please do me a favor, leave me a comment. I will make sure to answer all of your questions. And again, no, I am not a princess of Thoughtlandia, nor am I the queen of Thougtland. So have a great day, everyone.